As an online entrepreneur, an online marketer, especially as an affiliate, there are a number of factors that come into play in order for you to be successful. And I want to look at two of them in this video. Number one, branding, how you brand yourself. And number two, core tools that every entrepreneur, every online entrepreneur really needs to have. Branding is important because that's how you communicate with your prospects, with your list, with your customers. That's how they see you. That's how you, again, represent yourself, or present yourself, I guess, for lack of a better term. That's how you present yourself to your, again, your prospects, your customers, your list, and so forth and so forth. So I'd like to look at first branding. And we all know what branding is. Now, here are some very, very popular ones. Like for instance, you've got Starbucks or Pepsi or CBS and so forth and so forth. And branding is really, really important because, again, it's what identifies your company, your service, your products to the community. And the first one I want to look at, or the first aspect I want to look at, are logos. Now, we all know what logos are. And here's quite a number of very, very popular, very, well recognized and established logos, like that little orange thing in the center of the screen there. Well, everyone knows that that is Nike. That's an established logo, and it is a graphical representation of the company, of the service, of the product, or Google. And we all know what those golden arches are, that yellow M. Well, we all know that that's McDonald's. It is a graphical representation of the company, of the service, of the product that they offer. And so these are logos. Now, in addition to logos, there's also slogans. Now, the best of both worlds is where you could take an established logo and combine it with a slogan. Like in the case I just mentioned a moment ago, the yellow M, McDonald's. Well, they took that logo and added it or combined it with the slogan, I'm loving it. Or for instance, the KFC logo. Well, they combine that with the slogan, finger licking good. Everybody knows what finger licking good is. It refers to KFC. Or Subway. Subway's another one. Eat fresh. That's a great example. And remember I mentioned about Nike? Well, that little emblem, well, they have associated a slogan, just do it. And actually, I believe that slogan is copywritten by them. It's their, they own that right to that phraseology. But anyway, so just do it is attached to Nike. Now, De Beers doesn't really have a logo per se, but they do have a slogan which is very, very well known. A diamond is forever. So it doesn't always have to be attached to a logo, but a slogan now is more of a textual, if you please, representation of a company, a service, a product. And so there's also something called style. Now I want to look at styles. Now, if you go into a Starbucks, there's a certain air, there's a certain flavor, no pun intended, of course, but there's a certain air, there's a certain persona you get when you walk into a Starbucks. Or if you go to, say, for instance, Sports Clips, there's a certain persona when you go into a Sports Clips hair cuttery. Again, you get a certain feel, there's a certain atmosphere. And of course, if you go to an Apple store definitely has its own environment, its own persona. You get a certain feeling, you get a certain ambiance, if you please, when you go to an Apple store. So again, these are styles, but again, this is geared more towards brick and mortar. Well, how about if you're an online marketer? Well, you can do online styles as well. For instance, if you go to Amazon, Amazon has its own unique flavor and style and atmosphere online. And so, they have unique graphics and verbiage and so forth. And look at Wayfair. Now, Wayfair is another online marketer, and they sell a lot of the similar products that Amazon does, but Wayfair has a whole different persona, a whole different atmosphere. They're more geared toward home furnishings and that kind of thing. Amazon is more of a broader spectrum than what Wayfair has, but both of them have their own unique online style, if you please. So, and again, now these are styles, and these are online styles. So with your website, with your promotional websites and pages and so forth, you want to generate a certain style. And what we've seen already is you can do that through logos, through slogans, and how you lay out your web page, how you lay out, your landing page with, again, the graphics, the imagery, the words that you use, the phrases that you use, and so forth and so forth. Well, the other aspect to being an online entrepreneur, as I mentioned before, are core tools. I like to look at core tools now. And these are tools that really I can almost say are almost mandatory for every online entrepreneur, especially if you are an affiliate. There are some, core tools that every entrepreneur needs. And the first one I want to look at are funnels. Now, as the definition says here, the funnel is an engagement process. And this is how, you get interested people into your world, into your environment, okay? And when they're in your environment, you want to lead them to a certain outcome, a certain result. And I want to show you a basic model of a funnel. Now, this is a 6-step funnel. And your funnel could be 4 steps, 12 steps, 3 steps. It doesn't really matter. It really depends upon what the goal is that you want to achieve with that prospect as they go through your system. And so what I want to look at real quick is, all right, so you've got here, again, this is a funnel that I use, and I want to look at, first of all, on this funnel, you have a bait, a lead magnet, something that gets their attention, something that will draw their attention to click on that link, whatever. And it could be, you're offering them a free PDF, you're offering them a free mini training, something of value that they can get for free. And really, it's not free, because what they're doing is they're exchanging their name and email address for the item, for that free item, so to speak, that you're offering them. So you get them into your system. So what's the next step? Well, the next step then is, your tripwire, your front end. And that's usually a low cost, I would say under $10, a low cost item, and that is of value. And so they're willing to part with their money for that thing. And usually, again, it's under $10, and it's also called a tripwire. Well, this is your front end. This is your first paid product service that you're offering to that prospect. And again, usually it's under $10. So what's the next level? Well, then the next level is, many times you can offer like a one-time offer. You can get this right now for only $99, but it's only good for the next 48 hours or something like that. You want to attach it to like urgency. You also want to attach it to, again, making it really important to act now. And so, and that, it's got limited availability. And so, that's the next level, in this funnel. And then, we go to the middle one. And so, and in there, a lot of times you'll say, buy it now, get 40% off this product and buy it now. And usually, by the time you get to the middle, that's usually around a $400 or $500 item, where the previous one, the one-time offer, that's usually like $50, $100, and the middle one usually is anywhere between $300, $400, $500, somewhere around there, maybe a little more, depending upon what it is you're promoting. But the point is that each level, it costs a little bit more. But what's really, really important, each level, when you're promoting, it has to be something of high value and high quality. Don't promote junk or something just, for the sake of promoting it. It should be something of high value that's in demand, that, your prospect, or by this time, your subscriber really, really is going to be interested in it. And that's really going to benefit them. And that's really the focus. So then that's the middle. And then By this time, they've seen the quality and the value of the different things that you've been offering them, from your lead magnet to your tripwire to your next level to the middle. Each level, they've seen a high quality and something that they've been able to utilize, that they've benefited from. So you've developed a relationship with them. So then what you want to do is, then the next one is the high end, which is an exclusive offer. And this is usually your flagship item. And this could be anywhere between 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or more, depending upon, again, what your final outcome is. And by this time, you built that relationship of trust. You built that relationship of confidence with them, so they don't, they have no problem spending that money, because they've seen the other things that you have promoted have been high value, high quality. And so again, there was your success. So you've successfully led them through this entire funnel, and now you can move them on to another offer or something else that will benefit them. But the biggest key in all of this is, it has to be a high value. It's got to be a high value at each level. You don't want to promote junk. You don't want to promote stuff just for the sake of promoting it. So again, this is a funnel, and this is a basic funnel. Now, again, yours could be completely different. And again, how many levels you have in it is really dependent upon what the outcome is and what it is you're promoting or what it is, you're selling. And so this is a sales funnel. And this is a core element, a core tool that every entrepreneur really should have. And I want to look at the next thing. Now, an autoresponder, and as the definition here, mentions, an autoresponder is a service which allows you to automatically send out emails, and you can set up your autoresponder to where it will send out emails based upon certain criteria. Now, there are a number of autoresponder companies out there. Here's a few. I don't know if you can see ConvertKit down there in the bottom corner, but there's ConvertKit, there's GetResponse, MailChimp, Aweber. There's many, many, many more. This is only a sampling of those that are out there. And all of them range in price and cost and features. All of them, vary in, features and whatnot. And it really depends upon what you want to accomplish. But an autoresponder basically is like this. You craft an email based upon certain criteria. Now, obviously, you would write an email to those individuals that have purchased from you before. Well, you would write an email to them that would be different from, say, somebody who just signed up on your list, doesn't know anything about you. So the email you would write to them, which would be in a different list in your autoresponder, would be a different flavor, a different style. And you would be addressing different things as you would to somebody who bought something from you. And then, so you would have all these different lists based upon certain criteria. And then you can set it up to automatically send out, once a day, twice a week, once a month, twice a month, whatever, frequency you'd want to set up. And you go ahead and send that out. They get that in their inbox, and that email, because of the way you've designed it, that email would talk directly to them, especially in their relationship with you, as whether, whether they've been a previous buyer or they're new to your list, or they just, they don't know who you are, or again, you've got a great relationship with them. So again, those emails will all cater to those different criteria. Well, what's another tool that you need in your arsenal, if you please, or in your system? A link tracking system. And a link tracking system is really, really important, because this will show the success of the effort you're putting in your paid advertisements, in your postings, in your organic marketing and so forth. If you're buying solo ads and things like that. And really, let me kind of show you here. So, people click on your link. All right, people click on your link, and you want to track how successful is that link, is that marketing effort you're making. And again, you want to track it, and you want to look at the numbers, because numbers don't lie. And how effective is that advertisement? How effective is that marketing tool that you're using, whether it's solo ads, organic marketing, or whatever the case might be? You want to be able to track that. And one of the probably biggest names in this, in doing this is a company called ClickMagic that I utilize. They're great. And, they will help you to track and, show the profitability, show the effectiveness of your marketing efforts. So this is definitely a tool that every entrepreneur should have. And what's another tool? Well, a screen capture program. And a screen capture program is vital, especially if you're doing how-to videos. That is really, really, really important. And there are many, many screen capture programs out there. But again, as the definition here says, a screen capture program will allow you to record actions that are displayed on your computer. And again, this is vital if you're doing how-to videos. And there's a number of programs out there. I'm just going to look at a few. Screencast-O-Matic, which I use a lot. And that one is around, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's around $50 a year. So it's very, very affordable, very inexpensive, and it's got great tools, and it really does a great job. And then there's what I call OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Now that is free, and that does a very, very good job for a free application. Then, of course, is Camtasia. And Camtasia is really a suite of products. It has many tools all under one umbrella. Camtasia is more of your high end. It's going to be the most expensive out of all of these. And so, again, you want to definitely do your homework before you start, drop that kind of money on Camtasia. But it is a phenomenal product. But again, it is a lot more pricey than like Screencast-O-Matic or some of the other screen capture programs that are out there. What's another tool that every entrepreneur needs? Well, another tool is video and graphic editing software. And when you record your video, you want to, have software where you can put in call to actions, where you can edit that video, and, really polish it up and add additional pictures, add additional text and so forth. And then graphics editing software is really important too, because that will help you to, again, edit those graphics so they fit your style, so they fit, your marketing needs and so forth. And there are a number of companies out there like this, and I looked at only a few here. Canva has both. Canva is a great tool, and it has both a free version and a paid version. Inkscape is kind of is like Adobe Illustrator. It has a lot of the same features. It is not, obviously, it is not as robust as Adobe Illustrator, but it will do a lot of what Adobe Illustrator does, and it's a free application. I mentioned a moment ago about Camtasia. Again, Camtasia is a suite of products, a suite of tools, and in there is, your editing software for images and so forth, and then of course you have Screencast-O-Matic, which is a great tool. OBS, GIMP. I really, really like GIMP a lot. GIMP is more of a free version, if you please, of Adobe Photoshop. It'll do a lot of the things that Photoshop will do, but of course it does not have all the tools that Adobe Photoshop has. It's not quite as robust, but it does a phenomenal job. I love GIMP. I use it quite often, and that's a free application. So OBS, GIMP, and Inkscape are all free applications. So what have we looked at in this video? So kind of a recap. So in your branding, you want to think through your logos, your slogans, your styles. If if you've got a brick and mortar store, or in our case, online style, and you can fashion it sort of after a brick and mortar store style, but your online style. So these are elements that go into your branding, and your branding again is very, very important, because that's how you communicate with your community. That's how you communicate with your prospects and your existing raving fans, your customers. That's how you communicate with them, through your branding. And then the other thing that we looked at were core tools. And here are some tools I think every single entrepreneur should have in their quiver, so to speak, should have in their toolbox, should have in their arsenal, if you please. Use whatever analogy you want. But, again, sales funnels. There's a number of them out there. Probably the most popular one is ClickFunnels, which is a very, very good product. A little pricey, but it is a great product, and it'll do the job for you in setting up, the perfect funnel for what it is that you're promoting or selling. Then having an autoresponder list, how you can communicate with your list by email, and how you can customize those emails to address every single person that's on your list based upon, certain criteria. And then a link tracking system, so you can track how your marketing is going, whether you're using solo ads or organic or posts and so forth and so forth. That link tracking system will really help you identify, your marketing efforts and where you're doing great and where you need, some attention maybe. And then a screen capture program, especially if you're doing how-to videos. A screen capture program is very, very important as well. And then we looked at video and graphics editing software. So that's a lot of things to consider. But again, these are some elements that go into being a successful online entrepreneur, especially if you're an affiliate entrepreneur. And these are some tools and some strategies that you can go ahead and utilize to see greater success in your business as an entrepreneur, as an online entrepreneur. And again, like I said before, especially if you are an affiliate. So hopefully you got value out of this. And if you did, please go ahead and give me a like, a thumbs up like, and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for watching. Have a tremendous day, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much.